and his family, ladies. So we're trying to just capture stories of where we are, who we are, why we're here, what's important about being here, what's important about Johnny's contribution to the band.
Of course, well, Mullaghboy Band.
First of all, thanks very much anyone that's manages to capture this wonderful recording here. Jim Mills is here on my right hand side, and before we do anything, Jim, I'm Martin Donohoe for our listeners and watchers. Thanks to Cavan County Council who made this possible, and I have a great friend, Tinko from Bulgaria, and his family here to record and document the wonderful work that went on here in Mullaghboy. And Jim Mills is on my right hand side here. Jim, whereabouts is Mullaghboy and what is it?
Well, Mullaghboy is a hall that's just off the Cavan Cootehill road. It's about 2 miles from Drum and maybe 3 miles from Tullibin. It's a little small narrow road along the side of the road. The hall was built over 100 years ago. It's a listed building, and there was a flute band here originally, and it changed in 1956 to an accordion band, and Dad was the last member that remembers that happening. We played all sorts of functions. Anything we're asked to basically we'll play at it, or try to play at it anyway.
And members, when you say an accordion band, you have a bit of percussion as well?
We have this young lassie here, niece of mine. She's able to play accordion, the big drum and the snare drum as well. And she helps us out a lot whenever some of our own members, regulars, let us down. Megan can stand in. As long as she has a stick with her, she can beat her way out.
And she grew up with the band?
Yes, Sandy, another sister of mine. We were brought up here before we were to go to school.
Right.
I remember being here when I was about 4, trying to play cymbals that were probably the size of myself. Yeah. And then I reversed, and then I got to a triangle. And then I got to an accordion. And at that time, whenever you learned to play the accordion, you were practicing at home. And Stephen McAdam was the bandmaster at that time here. And Steve would bring you down to one corner and listen to you playing the tune. And if he didn't think you played it right, he'd tell you, go home and do another wee bit. And after that, once you got that done, you're allowed to become a member of the band, and you went from 1 tune to 2. We now have around 30 tunes in the band. Now Sandy has been probably here since she was 4 or 5. It was cheap where baby sitting as
right. He's all come.
all sent up here. And like that, Megan has been brought on as well. And Megan's a very good player. Every instrument she plays it well. Better than Megan.
Well done.
So we're delighted to have them here to help us along and keep us on the straight and narrow.
And of course, when we talk about learning the accordion, and you've been young, that's a button accordion.
Yes, it's
always button accordions.
Yes.
Never had piano accordions.
No. We started off with Honer accordions, little red Honers. They were bought in Greer's shop in Cootehill. Do you remember how much they were?
Yeah, £12.
£12.
And £6 for the single row one.
And we just had single row, Johnny, in the band. It took some single rows as well. Wow.
The smaller ones had the single row.
Single row.
Yeah.
And that was £6 and £12 for the 2 row.
For the Honer.
The Honer. Well, that was a good accordion.
It wasn't the black button though at that time.
You had another key.
Aye.
And did you play the accordion in the band?
I did.
You started on it?
For 50 years.
50 years playing the accordion. And was it an instrument you liked?
Yes.
And I know you as the drummer. You drummed as well.
Oh, here in the hall.
Yeah.
Any place, I never carried the drum and walked.
Right.
But I could beat it when I was sitting or standing.
And when you seen the young Jim, when you see the music coming on and handed down out to Megan, how does that make you feel?
Oh, good.
Feel that keeps it alive.
Yeah.
And Mullaghboy itself, or we something to say, see a lovely sign here, the NYAH Orange Lodge. The word lodge to some traditions would mean totally different than music and culture, but to me it always meant use, because of the friendship and the music and the sharing and your passion about it. So you would have come here in those early days. Did you remember hearing about the flute band growing up, Johnny?
I was in it.
You were in the flute band?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And was it a fife, Johnny, rather than a flute?
A flute.
A flute.
A flute.
And what key were they in, can you remember?
Oh, I don't
C's or
know.
D's maybe?
I don't.
Were they long, Johnny? Were they long flutes?
Yes,
No.
be that then.
Right. And what age were you then when you had the flute?
Oh, but
You're a young
seven,
man
I
now.
suppose.
7, right?
7 or 8.
And was there many flute players?
There was generally, when they moved out, there was generally a dozen.
Right. Any girls playing the flute, or was it all boys?
All boys.
All boys.
All boys.
And when you moved out, where did you do parades as well, a bit of outdoor playing? Did you be asked?
The picnics.
Done the picnics. So even then the picnics were strong.
Yes, yeah.
For our listeners again, explain what a picnic is, Jim.
Well, a picnic has changed a lot over
Right,
the
what
years.
was it meant to be?
Years ago they used to have games at them,
Right.
and the band maybe would start at the hall here and march down, if it was a picnic in Drum, they'd march the road down to Drum, and they'd spend hours upon hours there and march back again if it was picnic.
Starting in the middle of the day, isn't it?
that history. So and again, from our culture, in the traditional music, we didn't have a picnic culture. When I first met you and I was invited to the drum picnic,
Yes.
I had this picture in my mind. I said, Jesus Christ, we're going to have little rows on the grass, and we're all going to sit, and they're going around with little tea and a picnic basket. That's what I thought a picnic was. And there was all these people and there was music and everything. So that was how hard I didn't understand.
It's always called a picnic. That's the way it probably started off back 100 years ago, whenever it started.
So Johnny and the flute boys,
Yes.
the 10 or 11, 12 of them, off to their picnics.
Yes.
And that tradition continues
That
through.
continues on now. There's no, Verber's maybe a picnic now. There might be some games for the children, and there tends to be music, a band playing there after the bands have finished their march.
I mean, you see bands, how many bands could come out to a picnic?
Well, Drum had.
Drum was in County Monaghan for our listeners and watchers. Drum, County Monaghan.
Drum is about 3 miles from here, and they would have had 15 or 17 accordion bands this year.
Bands. When did that happen? What month?
That'll be in July.
July.
There'll be another one in Dartry. Will be another picnic. It be in June. And there might be 10 or so bands a day.
Is that Dartry near Cootehill?
Or
Or
Dartry on the
Parry Road, right.
And Duhat would be another one. It tends to be after Drum in July, and it's done by the Black Cash, if you ever heard of it.
Yes.
It's just past it a little bit. And then Billy Hill would have another picnic. They would be early June. And Billy Hill is up Kingstown.
Right.
East between Cootehill and Kingstown direction.
And how strong were theirs? I missed it. I was on this year, 12th of July, I went down to see the lovely parade in Enniskillen, and I missed yourselves and just caught the back of Billy Hill by his band. And it's a wonderful parade, and I enjoyed it immensely. And again, they were there that day. So many be in their band normally. Would they have 10 or 12 or more?
They probably would have 10 or 12.
And are the accordions only?
Yes.
Just with the County Cavan connection. So at the moment, in our present time, 2022, we have the Mullaghboy Band and the Billy Hill Band. Is there any other band?
Stone Park.
Stone Park, is that Red Hills?
Yes.
And is that the same flute as Daddy would have grown up with?
Yes.
Same flute band. So we've 3 bands practicing and playing. County Cavan. That's wonderful, isn't it? How many would there been in the past, Johnny? Was there more bands here than years ago?
Pardon?
There's only 3 bands now with the music. Was there more bands years
There
ago?
was, to be sure. Drummer, and there was 2 or 3 at Berabora.
2 or 3 in Drum.
There was 2 brass bands in Drum
What?
village.
Ashfield had a band.
Highfield had a brass band, and then they started a flute band. Cootehill had a brass band.
Wow.
And Kenny had a flute band.
Where's Rathkenny now?
It's just up the road.
Right.
Up at the Cross.
So again, just for people watching in years to come, we're going to appreciate having these townlands and knowing that there was a lively traditional music. So you've got the flute first, you moved from the flute, and then Charlie's father, was it?
Yes.
Became the bandmaster.
That's right.
Would he have been a young man at the time?
Stephen McAdam. What
Was he youngish man?
He was youngish man,
At
sure,
that
he
time.
was.
And why him? Had he some background in music? Had he come from?
I don't know. Do you remember why Stephen was here?
How did he become the
How did
bandmaster?
he become the bandmaster, Stephen?
He must have just took it on himself. He was in the flute band here for a wee while. A couple of years or 3.
And then you made a decision to get the accordions.
Yes.
Louder,
Aye,
louder. Great.
that's right.
And you started on the accordion. Did you do the 1-row accordion, Johnny, or the 2-row?
The 2-row.
And who bought them accordions for you? That was a lot of money then.
And the Orange Lodge bought them.
Right.
Yeah.
That was great. Because I came from the Breffni Boys Band in Cavan Town. So that's why I'm hugely interested in what Jim Sandy and Megan are part of now, and Johnny has been leader of the whole history of the bands, because we've lost that tradition in County Cavan. It's not enough. And we had to buy our own accordions, and my poor mother bought me a Honer accordion. It was second hand at £12, and she warned me. There was a Caller hosing gas super Sarah heater, and we used to put the numbers. It was a number pencil, 3, 4, 5, 3 out, 3 in, and she put the notes in front of me. She says, "I'm after paying for this accordion, you bloody better learn it." So that's my memories of learning in the band. And she bought the accordion and paid a bit off, and then she got involved in the committee and went round and helped other families in town, I mean Cavan town, by get them accordions. So you had them, and the drums came in as well at that stage. So the flute and the drums, and then the accordion and the drums, Johnny. Yes.
Yes.
What year was that again, Jim, for the accordion band before?
1956.
56.
The accordion band was formed. That's 66 years ago, is it?
I was born in 64, so I missed the start of it. But I'm catching up. It's great, as I say, we're here sharing the story. Johnny's a living source carrier. We call people in the tradition tune carriers, song carriers. And you're a source carrier, Johnny, because you have all these wonderful memories. And he's only a young man.
That's all, yeah.
What year were you born, Johnny? Do you mind telling us?
1928.
1928.
Yeah.
Wow, your birthday coming up soon. What date?
13th of October.
13th of October. Wow. That'll be a great year. We'll have to have a party. I love the Mullaghboy crew, because one thing you can have is cakes and buns and food. Always had a social element here. It's great for the social.
We like the cup of tea.
And that's, I suppose we should identify that. We're talking about the past, but all of a sudden the flag cones came to Cavan in 2009. We planned it, and 10, 11 and 12 we made an effort to engage. That big word people use. But we I don't know even how we made it happen, but it happened. Can you remember how it happened? I can't remember how we met friends.
I had a phone call from Anne O'Reilly.
That's
from
right.
Bar,
Lovely.
and she asked if she could come down to meet us here at some of our practices. And I said, that's fine. So Anne met me in Cootehill, and yourself was there with us, and you came out here. And I suppose we just gelled from that.
We never, because I really have struggled to remember me. It's always been a friendship, and looking forward to it. We've had Willie Drennan here, we've had all the Cavan Town Comhaltas, NYAH Comhaltas. The door has always been open.
Yes.
That's a great feeling for
We
us.
like to keep the door open, and we're, as I said, we are asked to play anywhere, and if we can get enough accordion players gathered up, we'll go. We are fortunate in that we can draw on Drum Band, which is an accordion band up the road. Some members of them will come and play with us. We have Sandy's partner, he's from Glenarm. He'll play without even being asked.
And I watched him, he was with the other, who was he with on? Glenarm. I picked him with the band because they were after you, so I picked them up on the track down in the
Is
hill.
it playing the accordion or the drum?
He was on the accordion.
It's a twin.
What? That's weird. Wow.
Whenever we met them by sports, you could be talking to one of us wrong.
They're twins. Yeah, married a twin. So the band and the picnic. So we had the picnic. And what else, Johnny? Did you?
Yeah, we have another young lassie, Anita from Billy Hill.
So she
is fantastic.
Anita,
she plays the accordion, and if she hears a tune, within a few minutes she can play it.
What age is Anita, for example?
I think it's 6, 7 years.
Right.
She just passed her driving test through COVID, so she's a lovely wee lassie.
She plays lots of instruments.
And of course, when we came here first, that was in 20 for Megan, was only a young lassie going around the floor here. Now she's gone to college in the year 2022, so well done, Megan. And the years go on, Jim.
Of course.
But back to the picnic. So the picnic was what Johnny played at. And what other events then did that flute band go to? Had you church services to play as well, Johnny?
Yes.
Not a church.
Yes, church service every year. 2 of them maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that the church nearby? Or any church?
Ashfield we played at.
Right, Ashfield Church.
It's a drum too, but mostly to Ashfield.
Ashfield.
Yes.
And was this hall then in use for your practicing for the flute? Because it's over 100. Was that, when did that?
Yeah, it was.
You had the hall, you had use of this hall?
Yes.
And was there anything else ever happened in Mullaghboy Hall then, apart from the band? Were you having church meetings or sports or town halls?
One time,
There would have been concerts.
mission meetings.
Concerts.
There would have been concerts.
Mission meetings.
Aye, there was some crowd got, he was for 6 weeks or something.
Right, so a bit of a mission.
meetings,
Evangelizes. Praise the Lord.
Aye.
Did it work? Did it work, Jim?
course,
Frick.
there'll be nobody looking at me. There used to be a stage there,
Right.
this small stage came out, and there used to be concerts here.
Okay.
And there was the two doors, and the performers would be out in the back getting dressed and come up and get on the stage, and the curtains were pulled across, and you'd have an evening here. That was maybe once a year that used to happen.
So you remember that?
I remember it.
What age were you? Do you think you can trace back the time?
I was
Just the-
probably 12 or
right, so them
10
early
years.
days, right, okay.
And they used to have things called guest teas, Sandy, and I just remember the name of it there.
Guest tea.
Guest tea, people would come and there's tables set up with maybe 4 or 6 at a table, and there'd be tea. But there would be entertainers on the stage.
So after bandmaster McAdams, he was in the flute band.
Yes.
Johnny came with the flute. You changed to the accordion. And was there a different tunes played with the flute music? And did you have different tunes then with the accordion,
There was
Johnny?
different tunes, yes.
Right.
So were mostly hymn tunes with played with accordions,
Okay.
mostly.
And had you many tunes? Would there be 10 or 12 tunes at the repertoire in them early years? Would you have 10 or 12
I
there?
suppose they had a dozen of
A
tunes.
dozen of tunes.
Aye, I'd say so.
And did you find it hard learning the accordion? Or did you take to it straight away?
Oh, I took to it.
Right. And you loved it. And did you practice at
I
home?
wanted to get do it, and I
You
kept
wanted
at it.
And your parents, were they musical? Was the music in mum and dad?
My mother was in the choir.
In the choir.
Yeah,
And so there was music in you.
it was music. So his dad wasn't musical. He played the flute in the band.
Right, okay.
And I had an uncle playing the flute here too. At the same time, Uncle Charlie.
Right.
And then you got the accordions and you went out on your picnics and your hymns and how about the marching element? Did Master Charlie's father Evans, did he teach the marching as well, or march how to march, or did you just practice yourselves?
Oh, just practice ourselves.
Left, right, left, right.
Yes, yes.
And did the uniforms come with the flute band? Had you nice uniforms then?
No,
You dressed
no
casual?
uniform.
No
Just
uniform.
ordinary, whatever you were in.
Whatever you turned up. But you'd be well dressed.
We had caps.
Caps.
We got old caps from the Gardaí and from the postman
Wow.
and put a white top on them.
Right. You meant something out of it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant. And then the accordion band, just formed the accordion band, just had the accordions coming. And that shop in Cootehill, did that shop sell everything? What was the name of that shop again?
It was a fancy goods
Store.
store,
Right,
yes.
okay.
It was a great store,
In Cootehill.
yes.
And it was
G. Greer,
Greer.
yes.
And were they local people, the Greers?
So from Canningstown,
Canningstown.
yes.
And did they have other instruments? Well, you got your flutes there, do you think, or did the accordions the only thing they
Now,
kept?
he just got the accordions for us.
For us.
He didn't stock them.
Right, so we brought them in specially for the band.
Yes.
Okay. That was great. A lot of money in them
Yes.
days, £12 and £6. And those accordions from those days, would they ever give trouble? Would there be a note ever go on them in the
Not many.
Not
Not
many.
one now and again.
And how did you fix them then, this, can you
I
remember?
don't know, we sent away someplace to get them fixed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know, right, okay. Same with the Referee Boys Band, we had a lot of bum notes,
Yes.
excuse the word everybody,
Yes.
but it was a bad note, and we just played with them
You
anyway.
have that anyway.
Yeah, and that's true enough. You're very true there, Jim. So,
There was a dad played in the flute band in Iceville, and there was an old boy, bandmaster,
right,
and this fellow, Jim Campbell, when he made, made the march round the hall
Yes.
in single file.
okay, formation,
And
okay.
when Jim got his back turned, he blew a wrong note. The old boy hit the floor. Stop. Somebody not playing right. Can you play it? I can. Play it out for me. He went round them all played it. Away they went again. Buying another back. Stop again.
Wow. They were blaming him. He was a great patient, wasn't he? You want the one.
That old boy was an ex-army man, you see.
Strict.
He wanted to have it right.
Strict.
Yeah.
We used to do that in the Referee Boys. We got in army men. At that time, I think some of them came from Tana, the
Right.
barracks. And they would have tried to help us with the march, and we were terrible bad at them. Because
Yes.
John Donohoe, the bandmaster, no relation, was from Drumalee, Belturbet, and he came from a scout band, and the Referee Boys then came out of that with him from the scout. Harmonicas they started with,
Yes.
funny enough, not the flutes, they went harmonicas, and then all of a sudden they had the Referee Boys an accordion and drums. And they had a mixture, piano, accordion, a couple of them, but mainly button accordions. But as I say, it's wonderful to be able to share the story, Johnny. And those years you were growing up, you told me great stories about, again, Cootehill. You were involved as a young lad. You were going around even selling eggs and stuff. You
That's
kept
right,
very busy.
That's right. Eggs and vegetables.
And how did you get on? Had you car?
Pardon?
Had you car, Johnny?
A van.
A van.
I never had a car.
Right, you had a van.
I had a van.
And how far would you go delivering the eggs?
Oh, in round the town, just round the suburbs of the town.
And that kept you going?
Yes.
And how many in your family at the time, Jim?
There was 2 boys and 2 girls.
3 girls. So you kept it. And did you get involved coming in and
course,
helping?
we were
Sandy,
all-
did you help as
I
well?
brought eggs too.
You brought eggs too.
There
Megan,
was
you
one
missed
man-
that. You've never had to bring the eggs anymore.
Megan did it too.
Thanks, Megan.
I have my mom's living at the band that I helped.
Yeah, there you are. Extra.
Yes.
Others from round wanting with eggs on the 11th of July. And this young fella, he bought half a dozen off me.
Right.
And I was stopped, you see, selling to other people. And he went up to his own house, there was a wall. He found the orange bastard. He brought, I was going to ask him, but he wanted another dozen.
Oh, brilliant. You got to sell them.
I was
You were the winner. Great businessman. You were ahead of your time, lad. He was Egypt, wasn't he? Egypt.
He was.
Jesus, he broke the eggs. He didn't know. And that area as well, when you played the music, can you remember other music in this area? Because my best friend is a man called John McAdam, John of the Lock. He would have played the accordion.
Yeah.
So was there other musicians in this area, do you remember at the time, around Cootehill or
There
Drum?
was a band in Tullabin.
A band?
Yeah, it was a flute band.
Okay.
Yeah, I mind hearing them practicing.
And they'd be good?
I lived down the road there, you see, facing Tullabin.
Okay.
And they practiced at an old mill.
And the music came out and you
Yes,
heard them?
yes.
And what was their instruments? The flute only?
Flute.
Flute. So the flute's
yeah.
very popular in
Yes,
flute,
yeah.
yeah.
See, they're not cheaper than an
Oh,
accordion.
that was it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Have you any flutes from the early band saved at all? Is there any in the collection?
There might be one.
We might know. We must try and get a photograph for him. It's just a document to let people see the flute. Would that be possibly the flute that came from that first band?
Quite possibly.
Quite possibly was. And about the drums then, where did you get the drums, Johnny? Where did the drums come from then? Was there anybody selling you them? Did you have to go to Belfast or
They
Dublin?
must have come from Belfast.
Right.
There was a man in Cloners painted them. He painted that one.
Okay.
Bob Balai, he was a painter.
And he put the crest on it, the
Yes,
name on it.
yes.
You can see it here. Mullaghboy LOL. What does LOL mean to?
Loyal Orange Lodge.
Lion Orange and 276.
That's just the number that the lodge has been allocated by Grand Lodge.
By the Grand Lodge.
Yes.
And that still stands today.
Yes.
Okay, so 276 and LOL and County Cavan. And of course Mullaghboy, we'll get that on the camera later on, it's behind Tinker there, so it is. How many drums at that stage would you had in the early days? Would have been the big drum and a side drum, or would you have 2 side drums?
I remember the big drum and 2 side drums.
Right.
Yeah, whatever. They were happy enough with them too. They often had to go with one.
And was it hard to get drummers? Or did you find the young lads, was it more lads than the girls took the drums in the early days?
Mostly men that were at the drums. Nowadays, it's, occasionally we'll come across girls, but it's still a man's.
It's hard work, yeah. And again with the drums, who was teaching then the bit of rhythm on the drums? Who started it?
Well, Stephen.
Took both.
Probably did
Took
both,
both.
yeah, because he was the band master at the time, and he probably took on to teach them how to play the drums.
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
Stephen came from the flute band
Yes.
into the bandmaster.
Yes.
And he was young enough at that stage, taking on the
Yeah.
bandmaster. Is Stephen still with us?
No, he passed away maybe 20 years ago.
20 years ago. And who took the band control then? Or was it
Dad.
Johnny took the band then?
Nearly 40 years ago.
Is
Yes,
it?
it's been 40 years. Wow, it's a long time. Time flies.
No.
It was 40 years anymore. And then Johnny was the bandmaster.
Yes.
Okay. And then when did you get involved?
Well, Charlie was bandmaster between Dad and me,
Right.
and then I took over back about 10 years ago, was it?
We got to meet Charlie and play with Charlie
Yes.
in the band, meet Charlie regular. So he's handed down from his dad the tradition as well.
Yeah.
And then you got it from your dad. So
Mhm.
that, and again, at the moment, this year, 2022, we're after the lockdown. How hard was the lockdown on the band then to come together? Were you able to come together? Did you try to even come together?
We didn't try to come together during lockdown, 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. in lockdown, and it was very difficult to get back up and running again.
And the members that I met 10 years ago, they're grown up. Megan's a young lady now, so many of those boys and girls have gone away around the world with college and work. You've lost members like yourselves.
We've lost maybe 4 or 5
Right.
that we were kind of good players, and sadly they have moved on to other things. Some of them have new interests, new jobs, and they're just not available anymore because of the lockdown. They got into a rhythm of doing things and they just can't fit it in anymore.
And when you took on the bandmasters, so Johnny Dundee, how did you start to get new members? Was it through a school system or just word of mouth?
It's mainly through word of mouth. We'll have to start talking and shouting a lot more soon.
Get more.
But we have gone through schools as well to see if there's anybody interested. Now, we haven't had, obviously with lockdown, we haven't even applied or looked for anything, so we're going to have to start doing that.
So what would your number be at the moment in 2022? Which is it 10 or 12?
We have 10 or 12.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
If we have 6 or 8 accordion players, we have the makings of a good band.
Right.
And
as
we're
you
happy
say,
with that.
and you can bring them from outside to join you, like Angela Graham from Drum.
Yes.
Angela's a great supporter of all cultural events.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Angela was the one that introduced me to Willie Drennan.
Yes.
You'd have never met only for
Only
Angela.
for Angela.
She put that together one night in the Kilmore. Best friends forever.
Yeah. Well, Angela is very good and she supports us every way she can. If we're playing at the Flag Old, if we're playing at an armed service or whatever, Angela, if she's available, she'll be there.
She loves her flowers.
She does.
She's the best gardener. We'll have to get a photo shot and maybe go down and get Angela's. I do follow her on social media and she's always great work, great hands. She's three fingers, Angela. So Johnny, again, you've seen the kids getting involved with the music and yourself. Did you still travel out with the band at that stage? Any events you went out and went everything that was going? You went everything?
I went all the every place.
And was there a favourite place in all your years that you went to that you remember as a musical place or something the band really was appreciated? Was it the 12th parade? Is that the best day?
And the 12th would be the best, or the last Saturday.
Yeah, what is the last Saturday then?
It's the last Saturday.
What month? August. Of August.
Yeah.
And is that a celebration in the
It
music?
is.
The last
It's
Saturday.
the last Saturday. It's typically known as the last Saturday that the lodges would parade on all together. And it's just to get together. We tend to go to the Armagh or maybe even Tyrone gathering, and we tend to go with Ashfield Lodge, which is just across the road.
We went to Donegal of the year.
Oh yes, it has been in Donegal a few times, so we went there too.
Raphoe, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think Megan was 2.
I know.
You don't remember that? Maybe going maybe to another one. And is there another event in August you have then? Or is
It's
there
the 12th of August.
12th of August?
Yes.
Is it the Black? Did you
It's black.
And you told me about that. I never heard of that.
Yes,
You know,
there's the
12th of July.
LOL is the 12th of July, Mullaghboy Orange Lodge.
Okay.
RBP, Royal Black Preceptory, is the Black Lodge on the... Normally the 12th of August is the official date, but they've moved it now to, I think it's the first Saturday in August.
Right.
And then there's the last Saturday, which is an RBP, Royal Black Preceptory again.
And different organisations run them, or lodges, they're not associated, they're just standalone on their own.
But mostly anybody that's in the orange tends to be in the black. And it's the same faces nearly everywhere in it.
And where would the parades happen on the 12th of August, the Black? Where would that, because we don't hear about that.
This year was Maguire's Bridge.
Right, Maguire's Bridge.
It's tends to be Fermanagh. 12th of July and 12th of August is Fermanagh.
I think it's technically the Battle of Newtown Butler, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Right.
that
Right.
So there's so much history there, and of course with Mr. Google nowadays can allow us to search all this, but we're here, as I say, in Mullaghboy Hall, Mullaghboy Lodge. We're sharing wonderful culture and stories from Johnny, and those early years, Johnny, in the hall here, was it in this condition, or was it
No,
was
it wasn't hard. There was no ceiling on it.
There was a roof.
no ceiling, but a roof with no ceiling. So you had a
It
roof,
was up to the tree.
right, so you could see up.
Between the couples, there was a big board between the couples. That was the ceiling.
Wow.
And there was a fireplace down there and a fireplace here.
Okay.
And them two rooms wasn't there at all.
So we've had a little tea room and a toilet.
And them wasn't there.
They weren't there then, okay.
There was a wee room down there. There's a mark on the floor. There's different boards. Well, there was a wall across. There was a tea room in there, and the platform was down there where I come first. You had to go up 2 or 3 steps onto the platform and then down 2 or 3 into the kitchen.
Wow. So it's changed a lot, and you
Yeah.
saw them changes.
Aye, that's right.
And who helped fundraise for that? Did you just pay for it yourselves at that
Yes,
time?
yes.
So you, as a group of people, you met, and the music was one part, but there was people with
Yes,
parishioners.
we
Is
had
that what you call
raffles and things.
raffles and fundraising.
It made a few pounds.
And you've kept it open all the time. And now it's a
Yeah.
wonderful hall, it's heated, it's well lit, it's
And we
beautiful.
got a lot of grants for it a few
Right.
years ago.
Well, it is deservedly so, it's wonderful, so it is. And the banners, where we can't see them all on camera, but Tinka will take photographs. And again, these are part of your history.
Yes, yes.
That's
The black one.
What when you say black, what does that mean?
Oh, the black.
Oh, the black,
That one
oh,
will be brought out the 12th of August.
12th of August.
That's an orange one. That's the 12th of July one. Now, obviously, with the colour around outside, you can see it's orange.
Orange, okay, that's...
So that tells the difference.
I'll tell you with this, the late sister Irene Adams.
Dad can tell you about Ireland.
Irene Adams, tell us about Irene.
She was the mistress in the ladies' Orange Lodge
Okay.
in Drummartin.
Martin's mum, is it?
No,
No.
Martin's Kilman direction, far side of the table.
Far side of Cootehill, right.
Yeah.
She was there.
Yeah,
And she's remembered and celebrated on this banner.
yes. She lived, you say, in Kiel,
Right.
in the mountain house.
Okay. And the Kill reminds something to me again, because I said the last time, Johnny, my mother and dad came from Mullaghboy and Kill, and my mother grew up with a Mrs. Tracy, who you remember, driven her next to
Yeah.
in Cootehill. So it's wonderful to share the stories with you. So that's that wonderful there. That's with the orange logo on it, and then the black one then. And we have a lovely one then over Tinko's head there. That's a lovely colour as well.
Ashfield.
That's the
Belong
Ashfield.
to the black. No, that's not the black one. That was Ashfield.
Yes.
Yes, Ashfield. And how old are we looking at then, Jim?
That's probably the guts of 100 years old.
It is to be sure.
And this one is it's probably close to the same, would it be?
The last time that was out was in 1957.
You wouldn't have been too long around that.
No, 64, I think.
You wouldn't have been around at all.
I missed that. But they were beautifully done, weren't they? Like the detail in them.
Drum
Wonderful
band
detail.
took that one out that time.
Tyrone band.
Drum band.
Drum band. All right.
Yes.
That one was the last one that we used to march with. We replaced that with a new banner back
Oh,
6 years ago.
Aye.
Okay.
But Sister Irene is still on the new banner.
And when you see a march with you, the two poles on either side,
Yes.
that's for carry.
One man each side, a little strap, and he keep it on.
And tell me this, there's one at the far end of the room, that's an older one again.
Yes, yeah.
And we just, when you get the men, where are the men? Who does this? Is there a body of people that are skilled in this work?
There are, I think as far as I know, there's only 2 men maybe in Northern Ireland that manufacture them and will paint them.
Good.
We were lucky there was a man from Cookstown did the last one for us. And Dad and I went up and met with him and explained what we wanted, and after maybe 5-6 months he had it ready for us.
Beautiful, beautiful work.
And what they can do is if you get a banner that is in good condition and a lodge wants a new banner, they can bring the banner to him and he'll repaint it to
The new style.
new numbers, whatever has to go onto it.
And a very important part of your
Part of the culture.
Your tradition
Yes.
and culture. Megan, as a young lassie going away to college now, so many of your friends and that, they wouldn't be aware of all this culture and tradition.
No.
So you're very proud that you're carrying that. You're a direct line from Johnny.
Yeah.
It's great, and you feel happy with that.
Oh, I'm very happy to be in the band.
Great. We've always known you, and you've joined, and you went to everything. We've had to the Flan,
Yes.
we went up to Monkstown, the headquarters of
Yes.
Comhaltas, and of course the dates I were Willie up in that lovely castle, Glenarm Castle. It
Yes.
was wonderful, nice. I know you enjoyed all that. And of course the other members down to the years, Fintan McManus came here and recorded a wonderful audio recording,
Yes.
which is very important.
Yes.
I featured nearly every week on the radio show because
Yes.
people are, I know friends in
Oh,
Conway,
very
well they love that, but it documents, I know at the time we wrote all the names of the people, so it's in 50 years from now, that piece of paper will document those players, because we go back to some of the bands and that, we can't tell who the members
Yes.
are anymore.
Yeah.
Now
So
you did the best.
Is it alright?
It was on the recording. Well done. Bit of writing,
There's a right now on the water. when that one was unfolded,
Okay.
it up at Clemens, up at Kelly.
Right.
I don't know who unfolded it now, but that's where it was unfolded.
Right.
This one here, Jack Cole from Cootehill unfolded that one.
Did you say unfurled, rolled it out,
Yeah, presented it.
presented it,
And
unfurled?
there would be an evening of music where other bands would be invited to play and march, and in the field they'd have basically a picnic. Where there would be the unfolding where the banner would be unfurled out, and then to show people the new prized possession of the lodge, and then there'd be music and probably a dance afterwards.
So again, we're in a very strong area of music and people at the moment. I know country and western is very popular
Yes.
in this county, and of course traditional music very strong. But your part you play in the culture of the bands and the lodge music is very strong and important. So do you feel that, Jim? You're keeping that alive?
Oh yes, but you enjoy it,
Right.
and you do get a buzz out of it. Like I said to you earlier, we played at a concert last Friday in Kilmore outside Cavan, and the response from that was tremendous, and it does your heart good.
Lifts you. It's personal. And Johnny's had that all his life. Have you found out with Dad his passion for it?
He's always been there.
Right.
He's been marching with us, is it 50 years?
No,
More.
There you are, give him another 10. That's a really young lad.
And he still doesn't want to quit.
Right.
If we're playing, where, as he said, stationary somewhere, he's the first man there to want to play the big drum for us.
Well, we had a wonderful celebration with Stanley and the 4C multicultural group, a new group of people, the New Irish as we call them, Tinko, who's recording all this for us with his song. We went up to the rugby club
Yes.
and here with the band.
Yes.
So you were the first lodge band or hall band that ever got to the Africa Day
Yes.
in County Cavan, and that's again the sharing of it. And there was no problem. You understood the importance of playing music and sharing, which I've always admired. And I think that stands here. I know Cavan County Council, they have lots of broad art world, but her arts officer, Katrina O'Reilly, and her team there, they always see the importance of inclusiveness
Yes.
and making sure that we were always sharing. And we've done that here. I know we're going to play tunes. We have some lovely tunes to share. Have you a favourite tune, Johnny, that you like down through the years of the band? What was your favourite tune?
Honor Christian soldier.
You liked Donohoe Christian Soldiers.
Yeah.
That's one of your favourites. And what, can you remember playing that on the flute and the band?
Yes.
So it's in your, that's a long time playing that.
That's right.
And about those early days of the bands and the tunes, when you went home at night, did you done a bit of practice? You did?
Oh, we did in the daytime, I dinner time.
You'd kick it out and play.
Aye, 2 or 3 minutes in the kitchen.
Sharing.
Aye.
That's great.
My father and my uncle and myself, 3 of us.
3 years. So.
Yeah.
And the uncle was on the flute.
Yeah.
Right.
And mother could sing
The hymns.
Yeah.
Wow, that was great. And yourself now, those changes you've seen now, Megan's gone to college now, she's gone to a new world, and you've seen such changes through the whole tradition of Orange Lodge and the music and the bands. And do you still hope that there'll be a passion in the years to come?
Oh, I hope to will.
That's your wish.
Yes, yes.
And you're only back from a wee holiday up the north.
That's right.
You had a good time.
Great.
Great area. We, myself and Karen got up to visit that with Willie Drellings. It was just a coincidence. We were there a week before you. But your passion is great. You share. I'm always awed with your generosity of time and your genuineness, that you're actually a genuinely decent man that wants to share. And it's lovely to be able to come here today. And Sandy, your memories of Dad and the music, how the band, was it a big part of his life?
Always was, and ours too.
It shared as a connection, did it?
Yeah.
It gave you that connection.
Well, we're all tied into the back of the van, and wherever the band was going, we were there.
That was it.
Yeah.
And had your friends of your own age at that time, were they in the band as well with you?
Well, if they weren't in our band, they were in
So you had friendships in the other
drum
bands?
band, and yeah.
And that stayed true.
Angela Graham calls it the band family.
The band. Did you meet your husband then through the bands?
And he-
Did you? Wow. In love in the band?
In Norway.
What? In Norway? Oh no, this is the story for us here. Tinko, Norway we're going to next. We'll have to get a map of Norway up on the screen. How did you just meet in Norway?
Angela Graham.
Wow, Angela. Bless us. So you went to Norway to meet. And was it through music then?
It was Ballymonaghan were invited to play at the Constitution Day in Bergen,
Right.
and the chief organiser knew Angela and invited her. And I happened to be with Angela on a last Saturday, and met the organiser, and he said he was chatting about this pearl flame thing, event coming up, and he said, somebody has dropped out, will you come?
That was it.
And
No, off you went.
off I
To
went.
Bergen.
To Bergen with a book and music notes that I never had head of.
Until now. And now I've got that book
And
of
then Megan
notes
has that book.
Wow.
with extra
Additions.
With
Additions.
the new tunes on it.
You'll have to scan them for us now. We have to see them on the screen. It's just wonderful. So that was your meeting and through the music. So the family of music and the whole passion of the band is very important.
Yeah.
And Johnny's a wonderful, you can concur as a stranger I am to you, in one sense, apart from the music. You know, his passion has always been there. It's great openness, so yes. And I appreciate the fact that we can come here today and sit here and just reminisce about great times, Johnny. We talked about that before. You remember the lady in Cootehill, Mrs. Tracy. We talked about different ones. That's when I have memories of my mother who grew up in Cootehill. She was adopted at the time by Mrs. Tracy. So, and there's Rose Woods, another relation.
Yes,
You Rose. So you knew all these great
Well,
people.
very well.
Very well.
Yes.
And what about the great Comhaltas man there? He came from Leitrim, but Jerry Whelan in them years. You must have known Jerry then, didn't you?
Jerry started a good band in Cootehill.
There you are.
It fell away.
As they got older, they went away. But he loved the music like yourself.
Oh, he did.
And you knew Jerry.
Yes.
And that's great. And what about the other parts of your life then? You done the eggs, you done a bit of travelling around then on the bike. Did you cycle here in that place? Would you be a good man to go on the bike cycling? Would you visit a place?
I cycled about fast my time on the bike.
On the bike?
Yes.
Wow. What was in Belfast?
The 20th of July, the walk.
Right. And you left here, your house opposite Tullahin,
Yes.
and cycled to Belfast?
Yes.
Right.
I stayed with an uncle and an aunt.
And you cycled home, I take it?
I got a lift back to this ski.
Bless you, no wonder you're a fit man. We're all feeling guilty. Have you cycled that like that? You can cycle to meet me the next thing, Cavan.
You'll be waiting a while.
Right.
In was the Greer. The week before I went to Belfast.
And you cycled it.
For £11.
You remember it?
Yes. The old bike I had was stolen one night in Cootehill.
Right. So
And
you
it
treated
was a
yourself.
yard in Tullahin, yard Mulroy. We told him, I'd get it, you don't worry, he said, I'd get it. He went to Carrigavan shopping the next Sunday. And he seen the bike, I described the bike, and he seen the bike. And he went to the bike, lifted, and then he lifted him.
Wow. You done what he said?
Aye.
Well done, him.
So then I had two bikes.
Did a good bike, a bad bike. And you cycled to Belfast.
Yes.
That's an awful long way.
You're one for a spare.
And then you're in the van.
4 hours and a half from
4.5 hours. I remember Seamus Faye telling me stories of bikes. Seamus, the great litter,
Yes.
about coming into town with the bike and leaving it outside the town hall and then out in the field where there was no lights and then coming out in the dark, and he says, would you find your own bike? And he says, I maybe get a better bike because it'll be in the dark. You forget about that. You've seen such changes. But those early years with the van, then you're going with the eggs and that, has Cootehill and the area around here changed so much in your eyes?
Oh, it has changed, surely, but I would like to still be going on, carrying on that job.
Right. You love meeting people?
I had a great day's crack.
Right. I would imagine you had.
Yes.
And you came home then and you had the music in your head and you got a good feed at home.
Yes.
You were looked after well.
I maybe got it in town too.
Oh!
My dinner right around the Philip Smith's in Church Street.
Right.
I'd call there with eggs and it'd be dinner time and I'd get my dinner there.
Bless us. And what about your wife? Was she loving the music as well?
The wife.
The wife, yes.
She was fond of music, but she didn't play any
Right.
instrument.
But she listened to you then, she was living it.
She made the tea.
She went to tea. She had a very important job then. She handed that on to you. You're a handed down tea woman. You always think we get the tea here in the houses. But it's just been great. Do you have anything else, again, looking forward to the years ahead, getting the band, keeping it going? Is that your hope?
Keep it going, and with any luck, get some new members. We're always, as I said, we're always on the lookout for new members, so we're going to have to book it up this year and try to get some more new members in.
Well, we've all suffered lockdown
Yes,
blues.
yes.
We certainly have. And out there watching this, as I say, a document of wonderful Johnny, who's done a wonderful job passing on a wonderful tradition to 3 generations here. And we're in the hall where it happened. It may have changed, the ceiling may have got repaired, the lights are back, the heat is on, but there's still that wonderful, genuine heart in your people. Yes, and the audience here, we should have mentioned as well, one of the best nights I ever had here was the wonderful steak nights.
Yes.
Steak nights, Tinko, you missed them, and they're not having one this year, only for that we'll be here. That's a big celebration as well. The marquee comes out.
Yes, with any luck, we hope to have a steak night next September, next year in 2023.
Oh, we've had great nights here at that.
It's a tough night on the people who are behind getting it organised, but it's a very good
Park
night.
in the field.
Yeah, and well, we have had people come here and walk the road and back down the road and up the road, couldn't find the cars afterwards. But it's all a bit of fun, and he gets lots of teasing about it. So
Great. And you've got a lovely sponsored marquee.
yes, we've
Well
got
done.
marquees. We used the first year we hired a marquee, and then we were fortunate to get some funding, and we got a new marquee, and then we bought a smaller marquee to help with the overload. And during COVID, we got funding to buy 2 other smaller
Great.
ones again.
So great double.
If it rains, we should be well able to cater for it.
And we couldn't have waited. We went to Mulla last Sunday to play music, Mulla Fairday, and it washed the streets. So
Yes.
you can never tell in Ireland. You can never tell the weather, Johnny. You must have got wet a few times in them parades.
Oh,
in the bands.
we did to be sure.
And I didn't mention that you had no uniforms in the flute band, so you got the nice dressed up shorts and all then in the accordion band.
Yeah, we started off with a white short and black trousers in the accordion band,
Okay,
and different kinds of caps.
right.
Stephen, that was the bandmaster.
Okay,
He ordered, I think it was 2 dozen of caps from someplace in London. And when they come, the customs charged them double the price of them.
wow.
Because there was a crowd in Cork mid caps.
All right.
And
So you said expensive caps on your head.
it's expensive caps for.
And when did the lovely uniforms that Sandy and Megan and all play now, they've changed over?
I got them from different places down the north.
Right.
Ones that was changed to better ones.
Right. And you've got upgraded your uniforms the whole
Yes,
time.
yes, that's right.
And keeping them safe, Jim, is that important? Is it each member's responsibility?
Each member's responsibility. Sometimes Sandy takes the notion and we've got to get them dry cleaned.
Okay.
They're all gathered up and they're sent off to the dry cleaners, and then they're put back out to the people who had them. It just try to keep them in decent shape. If there's a button off, Sandy gets the job of putting the button on.
It's mostly mine that mum puts the buttons on.
The button over.
Something
Never
to
mind,
that.
that is. Well, to do with the buttons.
The buttons are the blame.
The fires that were here at that time, you probably never hear tell them, they were show fires.
Show fires.
Yes,
No, never heard of it. And what were they like? Were they different, Johnny?
they were different. The show came off the flax
Right.
during the war,
Okay.
and you used 2 sticks to make a logie.
Right.
You put a stick flat on the ground and one up in that way. Then you built the shows around it and took out the 2 sticks and put a match to the bottom of it, and whoop,
She went. That was your fires here at the back.
there was one there and one there. That's what it was.
And they kept you warm.
During the war, yes.
Kept you warm. We're lovely and warm here tonight. It's lovely, so it is. We're going to play tunes. Who have you in with us? And someone to join us. Who's going to play tonight?
Well, we have Sandy, Carol, Megan, myself,
Right.
and Dad can beat the big drum.
Lovely. And I've got Karen with me on the guitar. And
Yes.
we'll take up the tunes of your favourites. And it's just wonderful, as I say, to share this with wonderful friends. On your location shot someday when you're doing a bit of a visit to County Cavan, this lovely hall is here. The history is here. It's a living culture because of Johnny. Johnny
Yes.
passed it down. And Master Adams before that, the bandmaster, people like that, who freely give their time.
Yes.
I'm sure it's not about the money because you taught and played from the heart.
Yes, exactly.
And keeping the, I can understand, I'm a band member myself, and I'm saddened that in Cavan Town we haven't a band after years and years of it. So this is great. This is a living tradition here, and the door is always open. So thanks to our good friend Tinko, who made this possible here tonight, another visitor and his family, and great to have them here to share this. And with all these lights and gadgets, we have a wonderful memory in years to come. In 100 years, Megan, you'll be the only one left.
Oh, it might turn the past in history.
Okay, you happy with that?
Yes, that's
you
good.
batting out?
I remember before the hall was renovated, there was no porch out there, and the door is as it was, but there was about 2 inches of a gap underneath it.
Jesus.
And if you were sitting along here and the windy day out there, it'd just lift you out of it.
Bloody hell. That's a lovely hall. He's kept, when he's done the business, he's made a commitment. It could have been lying in this or red, like St. Augustine's in Cavan, lying right.
Yes.
I learned in St. Augustine's, and it's just there beside the cathedral, beside the old Jackson's garage. 1, 2, 3, 4 stories, and it's just derelict. It's amazing. Never spent a penny or done it. It's just lost.
It's just been up.
Oh.
That'll be done.
Yeah. That was the history there for us. I held on to the drums and stuff like that. Just luckily I did. They were heading to the skip. Like,
Yeah.
uniforms heading to the skip. So that history, this is a wonderful history. And they can explain to us, Johnny. Thanks for explaining everything. We learned something here tonight.
Good. Good.
We'll take a tune or two. Let's have a tune or two. What do you play? Will you introduce? Get you to introduce everybody, because there's just right across. You can't get full introductions. Karen, just Karen.
We have Martin.
Martin, that's right.
And we have Karen.
Right.
And we have Jim. We have Megan.
Hang on, Johnny.
Too keen.
Too keen.
We have Johnny. We have Sandy, and we have Carol.
And tell us about Carol.
Well, I don't know where we'll start.
How long is Carol in the band? You've been in the band, Carol.
Carol was in drum band for years, and she kind of half retired from drum band, and then Sandy got her out and put her arm up behind her back and got her convinced.
I've always known you've been here all the time with us.
Again, Carol is a bit like Angela. We've called on Carol many times over the years to come and help us, and she's came if she's available. She's not babysitting.
And do you play with drum band still? And so just all the time here. So where is home for you? You close to here?
I just live outside Dublin.
All right, lovely. No, it's great to have, and again, you enjoy the accordion.
Oh, I did.
Lovely accordions. The last batch of accordions, Johnny told us that we spent £12 on the little holders, but a lot dearer now.
That one, 2,900.
Wow, the Megan's playing 2,000.
We got 4 of them for 2,500 each. Right, well, it would have been 2,900 each. We're buying them. These ones, Charlie was involved with buying these. I think we got 6 of these accordions.
They're lovely as well.
They were around 1,600 sterling, but they could be 14, 15 years here. They're lovely accordion, but the quick manufacturing, this cheapness of an accordion, they're still manufacturing accordions, but the quick manufacturing.
Higher spec. What brand is on the front of Megan's there? I can't Oh, Pond. Wow. And you have the beautiful Palace of Brandy there as well.
That one was the last one.
Was that one?
That
Right.
was Brandon's.
That's Grandad's accordion there, I think. We're just filming it there. They're lovely. They're great with the red badge and all. And God, that's a lovely one Sandy has as well. Yes, great tone of them. I don't know how to put the
That
tone
was
of them.
Brandon's name on it. That was
Yes,
great.
Yeah, what's your name on it?
we have played with drum band at concerts, and the bandmaster and drum doesn't like stand beside one of these.
Oh, these are great kick. There's a kick in them. We call them great kick. We have, again, in our tradition, we have the pedal sopranis and the holders, same as Johnny told us about, and the melodians, the one rows.
Yes.
So this is an Italian one, a fellow called Manfrini. Robert Rolson makes this, and he designed it especially for me. And I told him at the time, I says, I want you to give me an accordion that if it's robbed, they'll be able to find it. So that's what he done. So if it's ever robbed, there's every chance you're going to find it, Sandy, isn't it? And also, if you're walking at night on the road, you can wear it as a visible jacket. Look at that. This is a jacket as well. Hey, this accordion. So that's it. If it's ever robbed, they'll know who owned it. You start with Johnny, you're in charge.
Yeah. what he does.
Brilliant. And just again, the name of that tune, Jim?
That's called Seek. It's a hymn.
Seek.
Seek the first of the kingdom of God.
And tell me this, lovely harmonies going on there. When was that introduced into the band?
That was my wee sister. I have to blame her for that.
No.
Well, you
Beautiful, so it is.
came out of that one house.
So, and was that something, Sandy Megan, at the time you just tried out yourselves?
That was a tune Charlie had acquired from somewhere.
Right. And you, again, it sounds lovely when you're all the harmony in the mix. And
Yes.
it's lovely. Again, we never had that in the Breffni voice. We had to just play the melody straight through.
Yes.
That's all we learned. But this is lovely sounding to you. So what's the next tune?
Give me oil as well.
Give me oil.
Another.
No, yeah.
Right.
Tends to help the mind.
It's very peaceful.
Like I meant to say earlier, whenever I used to be practicing where I'm living now in Ballyconneil, we used to have 2 dogs, and there was one dog in particular, a black dog. Whenever he had the accordion going, he'd go howl, and he went howl, and everybody knew whenever I was playing accordion.
He was a music dog. Well, lovely. And what are we next? Have we another piece? What was it? Rattling Bog. Memories of this one, we learned this ourselves during the flat days, and again it's a very popular tune in our playing. We play it every Sunday in our session in the Farnham. So again, as I say, it's lovely to share the tunes and the music. We love the hymns, and we love this little Kerry tune, the Rattling Bog, I suppose, with the polkas and the little lift to it, so we can sing it along at home.
It's on our list, and we tend to play that everywhere we go.
Great, we'll have a go.
You didn't say how much that accordion cost?
At the time, I think about 3-2. 3-2 because of the extras. And then he put a few sparklers on it. I think he charged me for that as well. The bling is right. The bellows are lovely on it.
Yes.
It took me a while to get used to it because it was a bit different than the other one, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
and have you many accordions yourself?
I think at this stage we counted, I think 70. Like my own band. From the early ones and then the Melodians and that. And the couple of different ones now. So that's why the great fascination with using the accordion. It's great, and we have to keep it alive.
Yes, we were fortunate in that there was the last few accordions, there was funding came from the Ulster Scots out of Belfast, and they helped us to be able to find financial.
No, so expensive.
So it's very expensive. Again, some bands have bought accordions over the years and bargained with whoever they're buying them off, but the more you bargain, the less of the quality. So there's reeds, what they call reeds inside, which you know all about. They can be cheaper ones, and it's just, you've got a nice accordion to look at, but no sound coming from it.
There's a great kick at them. I said, it was lovely the sound, you know. And I was so disappointed I missed you that day, and then the skill.
And we were always ahead of Billy Hill.
So there you go. And of course,
Just
just to add to the camera, I went down that day to Enniskillen and told a few people I'm going down to see the 12th of July parade. I said, Jesus, don't go down there. Oh, you better not go down there. Oh, nice, I'm going to hear the music, I don't care, you know. And I was out in the middle of the street with lassies and chairs on the street at the roundabout. They're having a great day. You know, wonderful day to celebrate our music.
Whenever I started work, first of all, I started working in an organ. And obviously with the 12th of July and things like that, I'd be home here, going along the band where we were going. But I met people up there who were able to say there were many Catholic people who went out to the 12th of July to listen to the bands.
Oh, great.
They love the music. So it's something it's there free. Anybody who wants to listen to it, it's there.
The tunes and the music, and you share them. Then there was some of the lovely flute bands and the outfits and some of the other bands. A wonderful day out, I think.
Some of the outfits are unreal.
Unreal, yeah. Right professional level.
And a lot of people who are standing along the side, they hear a band going by, but when you go to a concert and play it, oh, that's what that tune sounds. Because I've only heard it walking past, but they can actually hear you playing in its full as you go along. So it sounds great.
We'll have to have another wee concert now. This is all done now. Have we another wee tune for the road? Do you want to have whatever you want? Sandy, whatever you want. Oh, lovely. This is a very popular one. I played this and there's a couple of friends of mine love to hear this one. Again, a hymn.
Yes.
Scottish.
It's a mixture of Scottish and Irish Scottish and hymn with that. So it's
lovely piece though.
We got accordions one time from a band in the north. At the 12th of July, I happened to meet a man. I was selling tickets. He said, "Would you be interested in a few accordions?"
Right.
I said, "I would, to be sure." So he gave me his phone number, and Charlie McAdam and myself went down one night, and he took us up to that in a bungalow.
Right.
And there was dozens of accordions.
Wow.
We picked out 7 or 8 and take whatever you want, take the whole lot you want them, he said.
Wow.
They had bought new ones and these were the old ones.
My favourite accordion came from a marching band up the north. The green one I play all the time, the green palo.
yes.
Green, I love that. My mother bought me that, bless her. But that was a lovely box, and it came from one of the marching bands up the north like that. And that's 35, 40 years ago.
That's possibly one of the accordions that came from
That batch.
Is that right?
I know these ones are all new ones here.
I think this is a new for
That's the last new one.
It's a lovely style. But again, the pale was lovely tone of them. Well, here we go, the Rowan tree, everybody. Do you recognise any of these hymns, Dinko? You recognise them?
Rowan tree.
What?
The Rowan tree.
Right.
asked Dad about being away and getting wet. I remember us not that many years ago coming down the hill in Armagh one last Saturday, and the heavens just opened, and we were like drowned rats, but you had to just play on. What could you do?
Did you have the wee plastic covers of that?
We had,
Some use that.
some we had, but we were still soaked.
Oh yeah, like we tried them. I remember these wintry collar in here.
Yeah.
Down here.
That was actually my first grade playing the accordion.
A wet Armagh.
Oh, what are
And was Battle Leonard lost?
But they lost a bunch of
Accordions,
piano
wasn't it?
accordions. They didn't like the rain at all.
Oh no. So big, they're so big with spaces.
Yeah, and as you know yourself, if it gets wet, you just don't put it up tight to a radiator.
Oh.
You have to let it dry out naturally. And if they don't open it up out when they bring it home after getting soaked, it's liable when you do open it, it'll just fall apart.
The worst I ever done was sitting in a pub in Cavan, playing music with a friend Liam Fagan. I had it sitting like this, and the table was here.
Yes.
And I had a couple of accordions because he sang in different keys. It was Cavan does, so I had different accordion for the key. And it came along and hit this at the elbow, and my lovely glass of Lucasade came down straight in here. The full glass of Lucasade went down there. And I remember I grabbed it and said, it can't be that bad, is it? But Martin Quinn, the renowned accordion tuner, he spent lots of months and months trying to sort out the glue, because it turned into glue sticky. That's what happened. Everything, the pads, the reeds, everything. That was an awful expensive job. But he recovered it brilliantly. But it was just simple as that. People forget these things with the rain. We'll play havoc with them. The bells, of course.
When you mentioned Martin Quinn, it was actually Martin Quinn we got the accordions off the last batch of accordions we got. So. And he had repaired accordions first too. We put them in a parcel, sent them down to him, and he sent them back.
He sends them back.
Great
man. And he's making his own brand now, Quinn Accordions.
We have one here.
Oh, great. Wow. And he does great jobs with us. Now, what are we doing next, Sandy? What do you pick?
You got pick one like that.
So we that there.
Pick a
Pick
tune.
You pick a tune.
How would you like that?
Oh, I don't know.
What's on the list? Just like, what's there?
Sweet by and by.
Well, that's in you. Alright.
Don't listen to me.
We pick. You do that. You take up the short video. Show the girl. Take out the picture.
Mom, what key is it in?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
I know there's a problem.
This is the last one then, okay? Again, thanks very much, Tinko.
Thank you very much.
Tinko, apologise for the last one. We don't want
Busy
to
man.
It's awful busy man.
Unfortunately, what you said to me when you arrived, met him at the door, so we're glad to have him here.
And they're a lovely family, they're
Yes.
very genuine.
And be very quiet.
He opens his door up and he allows me to, so we'll have an endless copy of this, you can have a look at it. And then we'll have it for upload.
And we have two more accordions if they take the join.
You want to play the accordions, Daniel? You want to go on the accordions? Come on. Is there music in them? That's okay. So.
That's what we stole from borrowed from Ballinamallard.
You?
And their parts.
Lovely one. Good choice, Johnny. That was a good choice. Here we all smile for a good photograph. Get over there. Here we go. Daniel's going to take photographs. Can you get us all in?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Great. And one more.
Yeah.
Happy. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
There's two other lassies and Megan that does the three parts for that.
It's a lovely tune, that.
Yeah.
That's a lovely.
Again, the bit of harmony has.
Oh, but it's different. It's a lovely space. You're going into a nice space, and it's listenable. You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of our tunes really fast. You can hear the music. We're dancing, you see.
Yeah.
Listen to music. Listen to music.
Yeah, we've got to be careful. The tunes we actually that we're able to march to them.
Okay,
Because we have had a few tunes in the past and we weren't able to march them after there.
Don't mind this for my brother.
That's okay. Johnny, thanks very much.
Not at all.
Thanks for having us.
Not
Appreciate
at
that.
all. Not at all.
Great to have you.
You're very welcome.
Martin, maybe you can pause with you.
Can you Daniel take a photograph of Johnny?
Yeah, if you want to sit next to him.
I'll do it.
You want to sit or stand?
That's the little accordion.
You're going to take a photograph of Johnny. Look over this funny boy here.
All right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Don't be afraid.
One more.
Don't be afraid of us. You're afraid of me. Is my hair okay? Is it?
Yeah.
Where is it? You do comb over.
My mother used to use wash and go when it went.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Johnny.
It's upside down.
Oh yeah, very cheeky. Three you stand in for a photograph there. Regularly used to get me saying that there for the photo. That operation team. You know team without Hughes. Good to see you so right. There you go, the camera. Just there you are. I don't know. Say no. You're the man. You're the man. Get this up. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Big up.
There you are. That's the family. Steps of stone. Look at that.
Is that one of the flutes?
You think that's one of the?
That'll be one.
Wow. We must get a photograph of that thing, but that's one of the early flutes that Johnny started.